All right, guys, so this is day number 2 of many more to come. And it was another rough day, guys. Not a rough day, but it was another day where the market is just moving higher, just continually up and away. However, the Dow is not exactly following. The Dow is the weakest of all the indices right now, and that is the market that I've been trading. I was expecting to see a drop in the indices, definitely in the Dow, and we just did not get that. So it was another day of losses. But again, that is to be expected. That is part of trading. You have to learn how to take your losses. That's actually what I'm learning. I'm learning how to take losses properly. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about. Okay, one thing that I've been thinking about lately is this idea. I mentioned it in my last video that, this idea that you're fighting the market, that, there's some kind of battle with the market. And you hear it all the time. You see it in tweets. Okay, people talk about beating the market, outsmarting the market, and, how am I going to figure out these markets, right? I'm not fighting the market, okay? The market is just doing what it does. It's moving, it's rotating, it's responding to order flow. There's nothing personal about the movement of the market. And this is what what I'm learning, okay? It's, I get an idea, I see something that looks like a good setup, and then instead of just executing it cleanly, I start adding things to it, okay? Maybe I hesitate. Maybe I jump in early. Or I start thinking, let me size this a little bit differently. Sizing, that's a big thing, You start changing your sizing. That's what I have ran into, where I'll add a couple more contracts. Instead of one contract, let's go with 5. Let's go with 10. Hey, let's go with 20, and just get a little bump and try to make a nice size profit, just a little quick profit. So let's add some more contracts to it. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Adding more to the size, sizing things differently than what you normally do. And comment if you guys can relate to what I'm talking about. But let me just kind of play it off in my mind how it works. Okay, it's always one trade where I push size a little too far. Okay, one moment where I feel like I need to make something back. That's enough. Just make a little bit more back than it's been. I took some losses. Let me add a little bit more to make it back. And what I'm finding is that I'm undoing a lot of good work very, very quickly just by doing that. And that's why I really don't look at trading as how do I beat the market. It's more like, can I do the same thing the same way over and over and over again without interfering with the process? Because the market is going to do what it's going to do. Some trades are going to work, some trades won't. That part doesn't really change. But what matters is, am I consistent in how I show up? This is what I've been reflecting on. This is what I'm asking myself. And again, this is day number 2. So again, was I consistent? Did I show up? Did I honor my rules? And yes, I did. And what was the result? Smaller losses. I'll pull up the stats at the end of the video. I pull up the stats and kind of include that in this journal. But the losses were small. They were half what I normally anticipate. That's the other thing, guys. Before I get into a trade, I know where I'm getting out. That's when I'm consistent. When I'm not consistent, I don't know where I'm getting out. There is no stop. We'll just kind of see where it goes. But when I'm consistent, there is a stop. I know where I'm getting out. And my personal style is that I trail my stops. Okay, I give my trade time to move, but as it starts going in the money, I'll start trailing my stop. This way, if it snaps back, it bounces, it goes, decides it's going to go the opposite way again, my loss is small. I'm curbing those losses. So again, was I consistent in my trading plan today? Yes, I was, 100%. 100%. Now the other thing that I want to talk about in this consistency is that, you can go on YouTube or, grab a couple books. I have a pretty good sized trading library. Got a good amount of books that I've read throughout the years, that I've collected, that I go back to and reread. And what I'm finding is that sometimes there could be a focus on learning more tools, more indicators, more strategies, right? But that's usually not what's holding me back, okay? It's the inability to just execute what I already know. That's where the struggle is, okay? Executing what I already know, sticking to the system, sticking to my plan, sticking to my rules, consistently doing that day in and day out, and not deviating from that. So when a day goes wrong, or when something doesn't work, I'm not really looking at it. I'm not really looking at the market first. Okay, I'm looking at, did I follow what I was supposed to do? Did I stick to my system? Did I stay within what I've defined in my trading plan? Because that's really the only thing that you can control. You can't control the outcome, but you can control the execution. So if you can get that part right, if I can stay consistent with that over time, then everything else is going to fall into place. So because I'm sticking to the rules, I'm not changing the rules depending on what the market is doing or how I'm feeling. It's what I'm doing. Am I sticking to my rules? So yeah, it's not really a fight with the market. It's more like making sure that I'm not getting in my own way. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's day number 2. Here's the stats. There we go. There's the stats. And again, I'm happy with that. I stuck to the plan and I kept my losses pretty small compared to normally what my losses are. They were half of that amount. So all in all, another good day of trading. We'll see what the market is tomorrow on day number 3. So this is day number 2 of the 618 Surf Club.